Welcome, 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 everybody. What an amazing expression of bravery and vulnerability from the panel, Lady Gaga and the young artists who shared their stories through their creative expression. Let's take a moment to sit with what we observed, just taking a deep breath as we saw. Today, we are here on the campus of Inner City Arts with the young artists of the Work of Art College and Career Exploration Program, who were featured in Chapter 3 of The Power of Kindness, focused on being kind to your community. We are here today in community to create dialogue around creativity, acts of kindness, and how it intersects with mental well-being. I'm Collette Williams Alleyne, Chief Education Officer at Inner City Arts, an arts and education nonprofit organization located in Los Angeles, California, downtown in the heart of Skid Row. Our programming serves the community from kindergarten to adult in our Professional Development Institute. At Inner City Arts, we see the arts as a tool for transformation, and we have made a commitment to supporting the mental well-being of our community through our partnership with our mental health specialists at Para los Niños. And today we are joined by other panelists who will introduce themselves. My pronouns are she, her, and hers.
Hi everyone, buenos dias. My name is Shadille, mi nombre es Shadille. My pronouns are she, her, and ella. And I'm the Communications and Creative Manager at Born This Way Foundation. It is an honor to be here at the school. It is an honor to be speaking with all of you. And I just want to take a beat to congratulate every student that participated in this film and all of the young people in the world who are brave and share their stories and support one another, because that's what we need now more than ever.
Hello, everyone. My name is Emely Gonzalez. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I am part of the Work of Art program at Inner City Arts.
Hi, everyone. My name is MiaBella Chavez. I'm a photographer and Work of Art alumna, and I'm really excited to be here today. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Stevie Mcbride. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm also the clinical director for Music for Your Mental Health, another nonprofit in conjunction with LA Inner City. And my pronouns are he, him, and his. So I want to continue this conversation of kindness. And so my first question is going to go to Miss Emely. How are you?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing well. How are we feeling?
Feeling pretty good, sore.
I want you to know the safe space for you to express yourself. So the first question for you today, how was it seeing yourself as a creative on screen? And how did it make you feel? What did it do for your self-esteem?
Okay, so being able to see myself on the screen was very moving. I never thought I'd imagine myself being able to express my art form and dance in front of the screen, in front of millions of people who are watching it on Facebook, and being able to see myself was just so moving. And I got really emotional because it's like, I never thought I'd be able to get this amazing opportunity. And it really made me inspired, because using my art form to have an impact within mental health and having an impact within the young people is just, it's very heartwarming, because mental health is a topic that that is very important to me, and being able to use my art form to express how I feel towards the specific topic and being able to relate to so many people and their stories and how they feel was very impactful to me and very heartwarming just to experience all that.
That's so amazing. That's awesome.
Emily, the next one's for me. So the dance piece that was featured was created as part of episode 1 of Inner City Arts Rated Z for Everyone, a series where teens create positive messages for their peers about mental health. Now you are creating content for episode 2. Can you talk about creating the show, and do you recognize yourself as sharing kindness through the arts?
Yes. So along with my fellow Work of Art peers, we are currently creating the episode 2 for Rated Z. And this process has been very innovative. I've been able to experience different mental health topics within creating this next episode and really diving into everyone's story. It's very moving to hear how everyone's story is different from others, but at the same time, we're all going through the same thing, and we shouldn't be able to judge each other just because we're going through something. It's very important to take mental health into consideration when developing a web series. That's something very sensitive, but also very important for everybody. And I definitely do see myself giving acts of kindness when it comes to my art form, especially dance. I feel like it's very relatable, but also very open to interpretation. I can create a whole dance solo right now on the spot, and every single one of you can have a different interpretation, but also relate to it all in the same place. And I think that's the beauty of what art gives. Not one person can see it the same way. It's all different. Same with our mental health experiences. It's in the same branch, but we all have different stories to tell.
Emely, you speak with so much intention, and you dance with so much intention as well. And it translates, as you just shared, to everyone who's watching. It really impacted me. Thank you so much. And I'd love to hear from you as well, MiaBella. How has your creative practice and your intentions within it sort of shown you how to practice self-care and kindness?
I would say that my intentions for self-kindness is definitely seeped into my art in one way or another. My mom likes to think that I'm a workaholic. And so, she's kind of called me out on that a couple of times. And I'm really fortunate at such a young age to have achieved so much, achieved the level of commercial success that I have. And I think that I could really relate to some aspects of the film and in discussing that, even in spite of receiving so much, love or support in some way or another, you can still kind of be hanging on by a thread underneath all of that. And so I think having achieved that level of success at such a young age, I've been kind of able to skip a lot of steps in the sense of like, okay, I'm here and I'm doing, what I can be doing, and this is great, but I'm still not happy. And what does that mean? What is it exactly that is going to make me happy? And so just kind of being able to explore what that looks like on a day-to-day basis. And for me, that oftentimes looks like recreating the love that brought me into my artistry to begin with. And with having commercial work, it's really easy to get caught up in what clients are looking for, what people are wanting to purchase, and what are people going to react to, who is going to like this photo, et cetera, et cetera. But ultimately, that's not why anyone goes into artistry. You go into it because it's something that you love. It's something that makes you feel good. And so for me, it's just about going back to those basics. And, sometimes the other day I just started on a collage because I wanted to, and I had all of this stuff to do, and I was like, but this is what's going to make me feel good right now. And I'm not making it because I have a deadline, and I'm not making it because somebody wants it from me. It's because this is what's going to make me feel good. And this is how, I'm going to be able to benefit from my time most.
That's incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. And if I may, you mentioned that you're a graduate, and there's students right here in this space who are watching and may feel like they also need to take that leap and sort of share a bit more of who they are with themselves, right? And practice that self-care. What is one piece of advice you'd give them?
I would say that something that's really beneficial that I learned, and I actually learned here of all places, I was finding myself really overwhelmed, as I think many people at this age are, just in terms of the amount of opportunity that's out there can be really overwhelming. And it's really exciting, but it's overwhelming to see young kids our age with millions of followers and on Forbes and on Times Magazine, because it's really easy to focus on, why am I not doing that? I'm behind, instead of thinking of myself as a 19-year-old in college just doing all that I can, I'm thinking of how I'm not doing X, Y, Z. And with social media, I think that there's a lot more opportunity to an extent, but I'm not someone who's super engaged in social media, and I just found myself, there's a lot of people on TikTok getting famous for their artistry. And we had a panel, and I was like, how do you, learn how to filter through the noise? how do you decipher the difference between an opportunity that is worth pursuing and something that you want to do or don't, and how do you just kind of navigate that? And the speaker that we had at the time was just saying, like, trust your gut, essentially, and the people who become successful on Instagram or TikTok or, whatever it may be, they become successful in that regard, in that realm, because that's what they're passionate about. That's what they want to do. And so in investing your time in a direction that you're not passionate about because it works, or because, for any other reason beside the fact that you love it, it's not going to be as fruitful for you as it is for someone else. So I think that for me, it's been really about going back to intention. Why am I doing this? My mom taught me at a young age that, it's not really a waste of time if you're doing your best. All that you can really do is your best, and just trying to do my best.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. We can do hard things, and we can do them together, and walk this path, be it in school, in creating safe spaces in person and online that we can all thrive in. And I have one more question for you, MiaBella, and I'd also actually would love to ask you as well, Emely. In this journey, how has the kindness of others made a positive impact in your life?
Yeah. Can you repeat the question one more time?
Yes, of course. In this journey, in your creative journey, or in your journey as a young person, how has the kindness of others made a positive impact in your life?
Well, definitely the support of my family, my parents right here sitting, have made a positive impact within my creative journey, giving me kindness and simply just saying, you can do it. It doesn't matter what level of dance you are in, simply just saying, you can do it. I love you. You got this. That's all it takes for me to just be like, I can do thousands of things, no matter what people think. I have one direction. That's just towards what I want.
It's powerful, having that support system to really be there for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would definitely agree that my understanding of kindness has been informed by example, and my family in particular showed me, they're here today as well, they showed me what unconditional love looks like. And I think that when the way that we teach and treat other people in relationships and situations in our lives, it also informs the way that we treat ourselves. And so I think that when you have a level of understanding of what it looks like to treat other people kindly, you can better understand what that looks like to treat yourself kindly. And so, yeah, something that I try to do is give myself advice as if I was giving it to someone else, because I think that it's really easy to become really difficult and hard on yourself in tough situations. But when you kind of step back from the situation and think, how would I, give advice if it was Emely coming to me in the same situation? And oftentimes my reaction or response is drastically different. So I think that it's important to evaluate our mindset on an individual level.
That is great advice. Thank you so much.
And that just brought up a quote in my head from a supervisor that I used to have. He always says that you don't have to be a therapist to be therapeutic. Like your interactions, how you interact with people, creating that therapeutic web, which is reaching out to your resources, your social supports, not just peers, but it could be family members, it could be people at a church, people at the grocery store. Just having that extra level of support to back you is so much powerful, to have like a community behind you, pushing you forward in that linear line of where you're trying to go. So I love that answer. Just sorry, that resonated with me.
No, I'm happy to hear
But I have another question for everyone out there, all of you. And my last question is, what are some examples of kindness that you have noticed in your community? Or what kind of acts of kindness that you've done in your community that you want to talk about?
So something that I've realized is even just like the smallest things, like opening the door for someone or just saying thank you, saying like the smallest thing can make someone's day. And I think that's really important because as we get older, at least as I got older, I've seen how some of the younger generation has been a little bit ungrateful for the things that they've had because it's been normalized. But in reality, the things that we do have, it's a privilege to have them. It's a privilege to like be able to, for example, be here. It's an honor to be here. And I think a lot of people don't realize that it takes work. It takes a lot of work to just be here, standing, like breathing. And it's just the smallest things can make a huge impact. Picking up trash that's on the floor because the person that walked right past it, like just kicked it out. And it's just, yeah, just making the world a better place for the people ahead of us and showing others that we can be compassionate people and that there is still hope. Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
That's so powerful. While the mic is being passed, I want to share a piece of information from the foundation. We know from our research with young people that kindness is a priority to young people. We can tell by those of you that have shared what kindness looks like to you and what self-care looks like, that you prioritize your mental health. And we also understand that young people who describe their environments as kind are also more likely to report higher mental health scores. So what are the things that young people are saying that create this kind space? Having a teacher that says hello, having a friend that includes you in a class project or in a group. These are small things, seemingly small things that make such a big difference in our lives. And I'm looking forward to hearing more from the audience as well.
Hi. Yeah, it's really, honestly, I just wanted to keep going about the topic about how it's like really the small things that really matter because I work at a little boba shop and we have a lot of business people that are really just like, they're in and out, like they need a drink really quick. And then we're like, okay, boom, here you are. Have a great day. And so you never really get the time to like really talk to people and have those real conversations with them, check up on them. And so what me and one of my coworkers decided to do is like, you know, we want to try to make people's day, even if we can't really like sit and talk to them. So we decided to start writing little compliments on people's cups and like we put them on stickers and then when they're not looking, stick them on the cup and like, oh, here you are. And I remember I was working alone. My coworker had to leave. And so I was just there and someone from another store that works in the mall, she had came down and was like, hey, like, can I get blah, blah, blah? And I was like, yeah, sure. And she was just super kind to me after I had a whole bunch of rude customers and like, listen, I try to be nice to everybody. And when you mean to me, it really hurts my feelings. So I was really grateful for her that day. And so I decided to, you know, put a little compliment on her cup and just as like my way of saying thank you. And a few days later, she actually came back and was like, oh my God, I saw what you wrote on the cup. Like, thank you so much. It really made my day. And like, honestly, just her saying that, it made me so happy that I could just make someone's day better. Like that honestly makes me feel so much better. And I'm just really grateful that I'm able to do little things like that that can honestly change someone's day, maybe even their life. So yeah.
Is there anyone else who would like to share?
Sorry, could you repeat the question one more time?
Yes, of course, of course. What were some examples of kindness that you've noticed in your community?
I really think that kindness is something we often take for granted. You know, nowadays we live in such a individualistic world that we only think of ourselves and what kindness will bring to ourselves, but we often forget what it will also do to others. You know, I remember growing up, every day my mom would drive me to school. She would always like turn to me in the front seat and she would tell me, what are you? And then she would ask me, and then I would promptly respond, I'm the best. And every day my mom did that for me. And I feel like that act of kindness eventually built up my self-confidence in myself. And I also think that like in every day, I feel like there's a need to have a bit more patience for others. You know, maybe someone's going through a bad day. Maybe that bit of patience will help them push a bit more through. And also not only giving patience to others and empathy, but also to yourself, because yourself is also important. And to give yourself kindness is also sometimes giving kindness to others. Yeah.
That's an incredibly powerful statement. Sometimes being kind to yourself means being kind to others and vice versa. Thank you so much for sharing. Thanks to everyone who shared. And I'd also love to talk about a partnership between Born This Way Foundation and Find Your Anchor. Find Your Anchor is a nonprofit started by Ali Borowski. And the goal of the partnership was to create this resource called Please Stay. Please Stay is essentially a place where you can find messages of hope, of inspiration, and be met with resources for support. And one of the components of this resources, this website, is asking and inviting everyone to think about what our anchors are. What are these things that are tethering us and grounding us to this earth, to this planet, to each other for a minute longer, for a day longer? And for me, my anchors are my younger sister. She's my best friend. My other anchor is the beach. I find so much peace near the ocean. And what's important is to think about these anchors before we need them. Recognize these things that we can lean on and that we can remember in moments when we're not feeling so great or when we're in crisis. And I'd love to hear from everyone on stage what your anchors are, and then everyone in the audience, if you'd like to participate, we'd love to hear your anchors too.
I'll
I'm
kick.
just
I
like,
know.
so I was so taken aback by that,
This is a
by
kind
that
group.
question.
I respect the kindness of this group. I'll start, if y'all don't mind. So my anchors, when the first thing you said that, it came to my mind, my partner, my wife, she's been my anchor for me, like through everything, especially this pandemic. She's been there, like cooking, cleaning, just grounding me to this earth. Another thing is my family, who's my super support system. I don't know, I'm the oldest of 5, so they keep me leveled if I'm not making the wisest decision, but they keep me grounded, they keep me leveled, and I love it that they do that for me. So those are my anchors. Thanks for that question. I love that.
Yeah, that's a really awesome question. I think that one of my anchors would be my artistry. I feel that someone once told me, you know, the things that you make can be someone's medicine. And so that for me, it's like, even when I'm having a bad day, it's like the stuff that I make can still give someone else purpose. But also on a personal level, I'd say that my mom and my siblings are my anchors.
I would also have to agree with MiaBella. I believe also my artistry is definitely my anchor. Dancing throughout this pandemic has really allowed me to center myself and restabilize myself, saying, what's my purpose in this world? And what is this gift that I have been given to be shared with not only myself, but with others? And being able to use dancing as a way to heal myself through a lot of trauma I've experienced, being able to be like, I'm okay. Dance has my back no matter what. And in a personal level, I feel like my sister has definitely been my anchor. She's not here right now because she's at school, but even though she's like thousands of miles away, it's like she holds my heart no matter what. Even when I was going through a lot of bad things, she just like called me and she's like, you're gonna be okay. Yeah.
I connect with a little bit of what everyone has said. I will say that my faith in knowing that everything is going to be okay, no matter what, it is all going to work out. And I really try to ground myself in that. And my family, they remind me every day that it's bigger than me, that it is, my fight is for the future of my little ones. my fight is for opportunities to create opportunities for growth for the people that I serve. And yeah, it's really just believing. And I will also, my artistry, although it looks different than what it looked like 20 years ago, my artistry keeps me grounded, knowing that movement lives within me. Movement it's a language. It's a language. So when I see movement, when I experience movement, when I hear music, it speaks to my soul. So my faith, my artistry, and my family are what keep me grounded. And I'm just really impressed by what I hear from all of you and what everyone has shared about keeping them grounded. MiaBella, you said filtering through the mess. And I just think that is something that if we can keep that in mind every day, we'll realize that things are really not as complicated as they seem, but it's okay to feel the feel in the moment, knowing that it's going to be all right. So thank you for sharing that.
Is there anyone who would like to share? We'd love to hear your anchors. Feel free to stand up and share them, or those of you watching online, drop them in the comments.
Hello, I'd like to share my anchor. It's pretty simple. It's God, family, and art. But on another level, I just want to express thank you for this opportunity, because in other countries, they don't have the support. So, but thank you.
I had a lot of challenges this year, and thinking about the world, it's just like, it's really easy to lose your anchors, but then one of my anchors, I would say, is like nonprofits, like inner city arts, knowing that like I'm needed by people here, by my peers here. My cat especially, I started fostering her. No, seriously, like family, in a way that family is an anchor for some people. My cat is my family. Thank you for letting me share.
Thank you, Judith. And thank you so much for sharing. That was wonderful. And I think we're so grateful for this conversation and for what it means to be there for one another. I'd also like to add one more note, if I may. Born This Way Foundation partnered with a Canadian organization with a similar mission as ours. They're called jack.org, and they built a platform called bethere.org. And oftentimes we want to be there for one another. We say, hey, how are you? Or how are you feeling? And we want to be prepared for what to say and how to engage in a conversation when perhaps the feeling is not that great. Actually, I'm not doing well. I need support. What does that look like? How do we help one another? The platform goes through a series of rules, golden rules, they call it, and essentially guiding us on how to learn how to be there for one another and how to lean into seemingly uncomfortable conversations that may help save a life. So I invite everyone to check out bethere.org. And before I hand it over to Collette to close out, I just want to say on behalf of Born This Way Foundation and on behalf of our entire team, it is an absolute honor to work with you, with the team at Inner City Arts, and to be uplifting and amplifying the voices of young people in every platform that we have available to us. It is your voice that is changing the landscape and helping to shape this kinder and braver world we all envision.
Shadille, I just want to thank you for being here today, for being here for this community. And there's so many little nuggets that we heard today. And I know that the purpose of this Power of Kindness video and the work that we do at Inner City Arts and the work that is done at the music organization with mental health is to help us to be intentional about kindness, being aware of how we're feeling, being aware of how others are feeling. I heard Dr. Elfie say, giving grace, being aware of what is coming to you is not because of who you are, it's because of how someone else is feeling. And what you do daily to process that information so you can be a better person in the world and be a better person to yourself is what this conversation is about. Our goal is to leave here today with having taken in some information about being better to yourself, being better to your community, so we can make a difference in this world through acts of kindness. And for us at Inner City Arts, utilizing our creativity as a connection to kindness and well-being. So I thank everyone for being here today, for being present in this space. I thank everyone who's watching and dropping comments in the chat. And we will be here. We will continue to do this work. We will continue to work with Born This Way Foundation, and we will continue to support each other on this lifelong journey of being kind to ourselves, to others,